Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Lives in the Launching Life with Autism Facebook group. This group is for parents who are new to autism, who are struggling with the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. The group, the resources, the courses, and the coaching that are available to you will help you get calm, understand, and connect with your child. I'm going to tell you about a few of those things tonight. And I'm your host, Erin Porter. Please say hi in the comments because Facebook tells me the number of people who are here, but it never tells me who is here. So, hi, I see the numbers of viewers going up, but I don't know who you are. So, say hi. Now, I want to tell you that I went through that chaos that you are going through. Hi, Heather. During 23 years of teaching kindergarten. And what I learned in those 23 years in the classroom, I took to 5 more years in spec ed, and I helped hundreds of teachers and parents calm the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. And I'm not sure if you know this, but I recently quit teaching. And now I'm on a mission to help parents calm the chaos like I did. So that's especially significant for me right now because everybody's going back to school and I'm not. I'm sticking here and I'm sticking with you. Hi, Laura and Kelly. Thanks for saying hi. So, how am I going to help you do this? I am going to help you see how you are in charge. You are your child's best advocate. You know what you need. You know what you want in life. You know what you want your life to look like. And I'm here to help you see that for things to change, you need to change. You need to change your approach. You need to change your communication, change your mindset, and be open to trying something new. And I'll help you. Whatever you decide is your next right step is exactly where you need to be. And today, you have all decided that this right now is your next right step because you're here with this live stream to talk about discipline. So, tonight I'm going to tell you some stories and I'm going to provide you with some options for your next steps, both free and paid, because I offer tiers of support and you get to decide what's right for you. So, thanks for saying hi, everyone. Let's get started. Let's talk about this. It started this week with a parent that reached out in a post inside our group. She posted about a frustrating situation about a doll. Did any of you see that post? I'm just wondering. I invited Mom to come tonight too. She said that whenever they go somewhere, her daughter takes a doll, and when it's time to go, they can't find the doll. So the daughter hides the doll to and pretends that it's lost to prolong the visit. So then, like this dramatic hunt for the doll happens, which delays the departure. And Mom is adamant that her daughter is so smart that she's doing this on purpose. She's hiding the doll so she doesn't have to leave. So now it's turning into a frustrating situation that's happening in other places as well. Mom says it's like she's 3 steps ahead. And there were lots of people that commented on this post and said, "Yeah, that sounds like my child too." Wow, the numbers are still going up. Say hi, so I know that you're here. So this same girl at the mall hid a necklace in the play area, And the mom and the niece who were there with the daughter at the mall looked all over for the necklace and couldn't find it. Um, and then the daughter just walked right over to where the necklace was and got it and picked it up. That is frustrating for this mom. I had another parent reach out to say that she is also frustrated by her son's behavior, which is different. And she's tried everything. She says he doesn't respond to any kind of discipline, despite her efforts to be super consistent. And unlike the girl who's hiding the doll, he seems not to connect the behavior with the consequence at all. The girl is connecting it, right? She's hiding the doll so she can stay. The mom of the boy wants to know, how do you deal with behaviors like hitting, pushing, especially when it's towards his younger brother who's half his size. So these two situations may seem different, but they're connected. And both moms are asking about change. How do they change their situations? Scolding isn't working. Consistency with discipline isn't working. Talking's not working. So here's the thing. They're both caught in a loop of cause and effect parenting. Stuff is happening, they're responding. Stuff is happening, they're responding. I'm going to use the sports analogy again because I like sports. They're playing defense. Can you see that? In this loop, that the child is acting in a specific way and the parent is responding. And that loop keeps happening. Do you ever feel like that? You're constantly responding to your child's behavior? Do you feel like it's like the kid show? And you don't know how to change or get out of this loop that you're in? Well, to change the loop and to change your child's behavior, you need to change your behavior. And your child will respond in a different way. So the answer lies in connection, not in discipline. You see, your child's behavior, I'm assuming your child is exhibiting some kind of behavior that you're finding difficult because you're here. But these two children, the boy and the girl, the behavior is actually serving them. The girl is getting to stay longer wherever she's at, and the boy is getting what he needs. I don't actually know what it is that he wants, but I'm assuming that the behavior is getting him what he needs. So I want to talk about flipping this a little bit, about going with your child, not against them. So if you can meet them where they're at, to understand the function of the behavior, that's the why of the behavior. Like the girl, we know that she wants to stay longer wherever it is she's going. So she's doing these things that seem a little bit manipulative, but it's actually really smart. She's getting what she wants. I'm not really sure why the boy is hitting and pushing, but what we need to know is why it's happening so we can respond in an offensive way, offense, not offensive. That doesn't sound right. Respond offensively, not defensively. Oh, Maggie, I love that you chimed in. Maggie's an OT in the group. She has the best stuff to say. I love this. We get very wound up by children who use behavior to meet their needs. It's so hard for us, but parenting is a sphere where responding to children seems bad. Glad to hear you reframe, Erin. I'm going to keep reframing, Maggie. We're going to keep going here with this. I love that comment. Okay, so if you want to change the story or the narrative or the outcome, you need to understand the communication behind the behavior. What are they saying? Why are they doing this? And there's 4 possible reasons for this, basically. I'm going to talk about 4. They want something tangible. They want attention. They're avoiding or escaping something. That's the girl with the doll. Or it's sensory. And that could be the boy with the hitting and pushing. All of them could be the boy with the hitting and pushing. But for those of you who are wondering about the boy with the hitting and pushing, I did 2 live streams recently, one about hitting as a problem behavior and one about hitting as a sensory need. And I addressed all 4 of those functions of behavior in those videos. So if you are disciplining your child for hitting and it's not working, I suggest you take a look at those 2 replays to help you understand what's going on and change your approach from defense to offense. So if you type in the comments there, if you type hitting videos, I'll send you the links to both. And you can, hi Ebony, you can take a look at those later. But what I want to talk about right now, because it's both children, is how do you change the story? Well, let's talk about the girl with the doll. So discipline won't work in this case. I know that some of you are thinking, leave the doll at home. Don't let her even bring the doll. Or if she hides the doll, just leave the place. That's not going to work. We all know what happens when you do stuff like that. There's a giant meltdown that isn't really good for anyone, and we don't want that. But the discipline won't work because the consequence won't happen at the time when she's hiding the doll. So she won't connect her behavior with the consequence. All that's going to happen is a big meltdown. So how do you change the story? Well, we know why she's doing this. It's so that she can avoid leaving and stay longer. So there's a few things to put in place before going out. This is the offense part. And this is where the coaching happens too. Like if we were working together, it would be really specific. I'm just going to be really general here. There's a lot to set up. And a lot of these things are customized and go beyond the scope of a live stream talking to everyone. But one of the things that you can do to change the story is to write a social story. They explain how things are going to go. Have you ever heard of a social story? Tell me in the comments, like yes or no, if you've heard of social stories. These are amazing tools. I use them with all my clients. They're like scripts of a play. So think about how much, okay, Ebony, this is going to be great, and Angie too. So think about how, if you go to see a play, a live show, how much practice the actors would do with a script before they go off book, it's called, when they're just doing it by memory. Um, how much chaos would there be if the actors just went up on the stage without the script and tried to get through the play? It would be a disaster. Both the boy and the girl that we're talking about here are running their own stories, and the moms are kind of catching up, playing defense. They're responding to their behavior. If we want to change the story about what happens, we have to change the way that things are going to go. So we have to communicate how things are going to go. And we have to do that over and over. That's what a social story can do. They're brilliant, and they can help you frame, reframe what your behavior is going to look like. So you can't expect things to change without changing your behavior. And a social story can help you do that. And it can help you reframe the story for your child. I'll give you an example. I had a family that I was supporting in my coaching section, and they were in the full 10-week coaching program. Their son was doing similar but different things when they were leaving a place. So mostly he was having meltdowns when they would leave, and then he was being uber unsafe in parking lots. So it was very difficult for them to get from wherever they were going out the house, they were at arenas, out the arena, across the parking lot, and into the car. So they'd either not go anywhere, or when they were somewhere, they would delay their departure so long just because they didn't want to deal with what was going to be happening in the parking lot. Can you relate to that? So we wrote a social story, and we put a few other things in place as well. And we reframed what leaving a place would look like, how this was going to go. The child is the center of the story. They love that. And everything was explained about how it was going to go, and that was how it went. And he expected things to go that way. So when I checked, we did the story and I sent them off to practice it and to use it. And when I checked in with them a week later, they said, they were so excited. They said, everywhere we left, we were able to leave. No parking lot meltdowns at all. And then they went one step further, and they said, in fact, there were no meltdowns at all, not just no parking lot meltdowns. Because the thing is, it's all connected. Everything is related. So when you change your behavior and the story, it affects life in all areas for the positive. So back to social stories. These are super great tools to help your child practice how you want something to go. Now, it's not actually practicing because they're not doing it, but they're practicing by reading it, and they are part of the story. So children love to read stories about themselves. So if you're in a loop with your child about something and you need to change the story, you need to communicate with them how things are going to go from now on. And that communication has to happen way separate from when you're frustrated and they're not leaving, or they're hitting, or they're hiding their doll. The communication has to happen before, in a calm time. Does that make sense? Okay, so there's a formula for writing social stories. You can write them yourself once you learn that formula and you customize them for your child. And once you know how to do it, you can do them over and over and over. All my clients who work with me have actual libraries of social stories, and they just go and they pull the one off the shelf that they need to help their child understand how something's going to go. Going to a birthday party, going to get a haircut, leaving the park, going to their friend's house to play. They are amazing. And the kids not only love reading them when they're the main character, they start to understand and expect how things are going to go, which calms your chaos. Think about the girl with the doll. So the mom says she's 3 steps ahead while she's out visiting a friend. Now I want you to think about the girl and the chaos that's going on in her mind. So you take your, we're going to talk about the girl. So you take your daughter over to a friend's house to play. And instead of connecting with the friend, she's planning where the doll is going to go, when she needs to hide it, and she's scoping out a place and a good spot to put the doll, trying to determine when to do it, where it's going to go, and then when mom is going to do the searching. She's doing all this instead of connecting with her friend. And the boy as well. Let's go back to him too. We don't know the why behind his behavior, but he's having extremely aggressive reactions that are chaotic. Not only for the parents and having to respond to that, but inside him are these chaotic reactions that are explosive. He's likely in fight or flight mode all the time because he doesn't know another way to cope. Both of these kids need another story. They don't need discipline. They need you to help them remove the stress out of their brains so they can focus calmly. I've done a ton of workshops on how to write social stories, and I've actually turned it into an online course. If this feels like your next right step, then write social story in the comments and I'll send you the link so you can check it out. I'm not trying to sell it to you. I'm just trying to tell you this is a good option if you're stuck. Another great option is watching those hitting videos. So write that in there if that feels like your next right step. Because remember, you get to decide what's next. You're here in this group to learn and to grow. And you can do that in the group, or you can take a step outside the group and learn a new skill and how to change your behavior so you can change the story. If that feels right to you, I will help you. That online course, the social stories one, if you want to check it out, it includes a one-to-one call with me at the end. And I will help you finish up a story, and I will help you with some of those other things that you can put in place to use the story in your own life so you can set it up like I helped that family with the boy who's running through the parking lot. I will help you. That is what I'm here for. So if you're struggling with discipline and you're in a loop that's not working, it's time to change your behavior. It's time for a new approach. And you always get to decide what that looks like. So if you want those hitting replays, write hitting replays down there, and I'll send you both the links. If you want to learn a new strategy and get some coaching directly from me, type social stories in there, and I'll send you the link to check that out. And just remember that just because you type something in a comment doesn't mean you're committed to it. It means you're just taking your next right step. It just feels like the next thing you should check out, which is to ask for help in a new and different way, and in a way that feels right for you. Just before I say goodbye, I want to commend you all for being here tonight and for coming and listening. And for now thinking about what comes next for you. Do you want some video links? Do you want a course? Do you want to reach out and talk with me? You get to decide. And no matter which one of those things you choose, I will respond and I will help you. I see tons of comments about social stories and hitting videos. Please give me some time to get those to you. I will do it. And I will do that tonight. Thanks for coming. If anyone has a question or a comment you want to put in the comments there just before we go, I am happy to answer. You're welcome, Angie. I will get to all of you tonight with what you've asked for. Okay? Have a great evening, everyone. Think about how to change the story. It's time for you to change your behavior. Let me help you, okay? Have a good night, everyone. Bye.